Okay. So one second. You have emailed it, no? Kruti?
I think I sent two mails. First one is the
Okay.
code and second is the data.
Okay. Let me have it.
And
Yeah.
sir,
Okay.
I wrote my issue also. Like I'm getting only a single colored flow title. It's just full red when I'm trying to play.
I think just by mentioning that full red, I understood where the problem is. I don't have to, I think, open the code, but still I'll look at it.
Okay, sir.
Code and data separate. Next time when you're trying to share uh, uh, this kind of location, I think, is it my disturbance or location disturbance? Okay, okay. Location, whenever you want to talk, you can, unmute yourself, okay?
Yes, sir, yes.
Because I think the recording will have an issue. Okay. Let me just put everything in place first. Bear with me. What I'll do is I'll share my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what we'll do is maybe the last session we stopped with Parthis, no?
Yes, sir.
So this is where we stopped last time. Code. Parthi, your code one, no? So this is where we stopped, no, last time. No?
Yes.
So then all this has been done. Okay. So let us run this much first. Okay. The DF is ready. I hope you're appreciating the reason why we have done all this homework. Why we are saying load the packages, load the data, all that manually. Because next time when there is a power cut, it can happen with you also. Maybe your parents would have come, or you have to go on a trip with the girlfriend or something, and then you forget what you have done before. So just selecting this and entering it will actually tell us what we have done. What we have done also is quite explicit here. We have taken DF, we have cleaned the names using the janitor package clean names, and then we selected the required entry and removed entry of India. We said we only want totals. And we don't want India.
Yes.
Correct? And then we are only selecting two variables from it, the area name and the number of households of a disabled person, right? And then we are creating a new column called area name by removing the state, whatever it was, right? All that happened, isn't it? All that is possible. I'm able to get it back was because I have written everything here. If I would not have written it, I should have tried to read the code and understand it and things like that, isn't it? So annotating the code is not only helpful for others, it's helpful for your own self. Okay. Before we go there, whenever we're going to load the data, we have to ensure that we are loading the data using, we have to first ensure that the data is in the right place, isn't it? So by looking at this code, where is the data residing? It is residing in a folder called raw data. This is the data's name. Okay, this is the file name and this is the file extension. And this is raw data. I mean, this file is there in this folder, and this folder is there in this folder called data. Raw data is there in data folder. And where is this data folder? Data folder is actually there in your working directory, isn't it? So I can go here to this gear button. I can say go to working directory. So this is my working directory. How does it know where is my working directory? Because there is this rproj file, right? So whenever we are asking you to work on a project, it is because this rproj file will be created, and there now you can manage all the files, right? There is this code folder, data folder, files folder, plots folder, etc., etc. This index and all we'll see later. I think we've done it last time, but if you look at the code folder, last time I've also given you a template called project setup template.r. So if you clearly look at that template, there are two packages. This is the code for setting up the folders and files for the project for better management, right? So the first line of the code will always should tell you what exactly that script is doing, in a gist. Because if you go to code 1, so we are exploring the household data set. At least this much is enough for us to understand what this code is doing, right? You'll be working with hundreds of scripts later on. You'll get lost, you might be calling it code 1, code 2, code 1 underscore new, or code 1 bracket 1. So it will be very difficult for you to find which one is what. So always make it a habit that the first line of the code is actually telling you what that script is really doing, right? So I'm loading only two packages here. The FS package, FS stands for file system. The package FS and the library here, package here. Here is going to look for this rproj file and everything. FS is for creating the directories and moving files and things. It's a very powerful package. Again, I think the author is again Hadley Wickham here, but you will appreciate this package once you move further in your time. Anyway, so this is what we have run to create all the folders that we want. Okay? Very quickly, if you want to see what are all the how is the file structure there in your this thing, you can just very quickly say dir underscore tree. Okay, it's coming from this package called FS. So there is this code 1, which is I think Parthi's code. First map I think was locates, isn't it? Or was it Fredericks's? Anyway, so this is the thing I shared. This is I think this was Fredericks's, no? Anyway, I'm confusing. So the raw data has book 1, this data, polio immunization data, TB alcohol, TB case notification. The files has a subfolder called shape files, and all this is there. I told you that it is that this .shp file for the shape file that was required. These are all the sister files, ancillary support files. If you don't have these files, this won't work. It's like that. And then there is an index HTML QMD files. There are additional this thing. You don't worry about all this. But yeah, there is an rproj file as well. And there's an empty plots folder. Yeah. So anyway, this is how the structure of this workflow is. What we'll quickly do is we'll quickly go through what we missed last time. So I'll just put this up here. So we just loaded the data and prepped the data last time. So what we're doing is we are creating the shape. See, you can just copy this and put it here. Okay, it's one and the same. Okay, you can just copy this and put it here. That's one and the same. But I'm breaking it down two things because it will make your the steps easy and easy to understand, in the sense that the argument for stread is the file path. Okay, just like the argument for read Excel is the file path. You can ready as well create, just like we created shape file path, we can call it Excel file path, and then we can directly put this here, and this one we can put it here. This is one and the same. Okay. But this way you will actually understand, okay, this is the first line is creating the file path for you. This file may be there, may not be there. For example, if I say, if I write Arun, okay, even if I run this, it will create this Excel file path. Okay, you're able to see, no? Just created this. So it does not mean that whatever file path you create, it is existing. So you have to be careful when you're creating the file path. Okay. But if I run it here, it will say, I cannot run it. You see, it will say that this does not exist. Right? So, but now if I use the original file path, now it says DF is created. It's 432 observations. So do this again. One other thing I wanted to mention was that last time before the power cut, we did this step by step. Okay. As and when you get more proficient in these methods and you keep using it, you will appreciate that all this you can pipe it. First take this DF, then you clean the names, then you filter it by rows. They select the columns that you want, and you create the variable that you need, and you rewrite it. Okay, that is what it's all in one step, right? You don't have to do this, but it's always good to actually annotate things. And when you're annotating things, for the beginner, I would say do it separately. But as and when you get used to it and things, you can pipe it. So that's the beauty of things. Take this and then do that. Now you're taking DF and then cleaning the names, and then filtering by rows, and then selecting the columns, and then creating a new column, right? So that's what's happening. So let us load the shape file here. The stread function is coming from the SF package, isn't it? But if I run this, it's going to say it's not there. The file doesn't seem to exist. Why do you think that is? Because the reason is, me and Parthy, we created the file separately, right? This is Parthy's code. Parthy has created a folder called shape files in his working directory, whereas I put the shape files in a folder called files, isn't it? The shape files is in a folder called files. So I have to mention that, okay, it's not in my working directory. It's in a, it's in a folder called file. So now if I run this, it says, okay, it's not working again. There is something wrong. Now, what could be the mistake? India state boundary SHP. Can anybody tell me? The reason is Parthy put it in a folder called shape file, whereas my folder name is shape files S. Okay, plural. Yeah. Yes. So it also matters. It's the small nuances. Don't the moment you see this error, don't get scared. Okay, what happened? Just read through it. It says that, okay, the file does not seems to exist, right? Obviously, it's not existing because the file path is not correct, right? So just by adding that S in the end, now it will run. Okay. Now it says that it's reading the layer India state boundary, and so and so on. Yeah. So now if you plot it, I would not suggest that you plot it using the generic plot method. I would prefer that you use ggplot and that kind of syntax. But just to show that this also works, it works. Okay. Yeah. And then we try to look at the state names. State name is not found in the data. Why is the reason? Because if you look at SF, it says that it's state underscore name, capital S and capital N. Okay. What could have been done is this.
Okay.
So if what we should have done is we should have put this line here, isn't it? If you if you put this line here, all this would have worked, by a single go. No errors would have come. Now it's actually state underscore. Okay, great. So I'll just remove this. I'm sure that you know what this is. Now you're converting DF name area to snake name, snake case. Let me see what's happening here. So that's what you did, right? Isn't it? Okay. So why did you create it as a factor first and then to snake case?
While doing that, it has shown me the error that that is not a character. So I just mutated it.
Okay. So if I so what you mean to say is that the moment you run this, it's saying name is not found, isn't it? Why is name not found? Because it is state underscore name, no? Isn't it? Now it has worked, no? Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay. So this is unnecessary. Even is there something called as area name in your data set in DF?
Yes, sir.
In
States
DF there is.
my data name is called as area name.
Okay. So if you so that manipulation of area name is happening here, right? So if I check DF area name, it's in capitals, isn't it?
Yes.
So you want to do this part, no? To snake case, isn't it? So if it were me, what I would have done is I would have just piped it here and created one mutate here itself. Okay. Mutate area underscore name is equals to 2 underscore lowercase lower snake, no?
Yes.
Or 2 snake case. 2 snake case area name, isn't it? So all the DF manipulations are happening just here itself. So here I'm suddenly confused, where is this area name coming from? Then I realized, okay, it's actually coming from this DF. So it's always good to put your code where it's supposed to be. No? So all I can do is I can just control enter this and I'll just read it once again. So now it's working. So I can just comment this out. And yeah, this also I can comment it out. Now, if I run this, it will work. So what I can do is I can, yeah. Then I don't need this anymore, right? So now we are checking DF states, SF states. Okay. So you found out that these are the ones that are not working, isn't it? Andaman Nicobar Islands is written Andaman Nicobar. Chhattisgarh is written with 2 T's. Dadar Nagar Haveli Daman Diu is 2 separate things. India, Jammu, Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir. NCT of Delhi is Delhi. Ladakh was not there. Tamil Nadu is different separately. Telangana is there. Okay. So that's what you have already done here, right? I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay. Now let me run this. Okay. Now let me check. Everything is true, isn't it? So yeah, character. So India we have removed, no?
Yes.
Not yet removed. See, DF had India, no?
Data frame has India.
But I thought we removed India here. Isn't it? If we removed India, then how did India come again? Okay, let me just run it. I'll open the data set just to verify. So area name has India. Okay. So why was this India not removed?
It has small I. Starts with small.
Is it?
It's,
Let us look at the data set then. Yeah. Yeah. No. 1 second. Area name India is also there. I mean,
full capsule.
it's all capitals, not smalls. Isn't it?
Yes.
Agree?
Yes.
Why did it not go? Because it's actually India is written in capitals, but I wrote it as
India.
small letters. You know, that's why I did not remove it. Okay. Isn't it? Agree? Now let us check if it will work. See, there is no India now. There is no I itself, no? There is no India. Only 35 are there. So it's important that however we write things, we have to ensure that we are writing in the some correct case. Okay. I know we are taking some time to do this, but then I would prefer that we all are on the same page. You know? See, how did I know that I did not do it? Because it says that there is one left. Maybe Parthi, when you would have done it, you would have done it correctly. But when I did have, it showed that there is India remaining. No? So that is how I know that, okay, something is not right. And then I go. Otherwise, it would have shown character 0. Now, if I run this again, it will say character 0 is the result of this. Character 0. That means there is nothing that is not matching. Everything is matching. Okay? So there's no point in arranging this. You cross joined it. Okay. I would have preferred to do. Okay. Now, what I'll do is I'll just move this. So now you want to join one data set to the other, isn't it? You want to join it by, in that it is called area name, in this it is called name.
Yes.
Correct? Okay.
Yes.
So I will say take DF or take your India shape file, India shape file, and then left join, left join DF. Okay. By what? By equals to C area, name is equal to area name. Let's see if it will work. Yes, it has worked. See, it has joined two things. It says that there are two matches here. For example, I think it could be because of Andhra Pradesh has two, and Daman and Dayu has two. So that could be the problem. See, Daman and Dayu are two. Dadar Nagar Haveli is there. Okay, anyway, that's fine. So this is a little explicit. Now, this is what we wanted, isn't it? And now, ideally, we should have saved it as India state joined SF. Let us do that. Let us save India state joined SF. Let me run this all once again. Okay. So it has created one India state joined SF. See, it's this every time you're in question, I mean, things are not working. Select everything from the top and run. Okay. What that will ensure is that everything will be clean. And that is why I'm asking you once again that everything should be a standalone thing. Even the loading of packages, loading of data, everything should be streamlined so that any mistake that you make, you all have to select everything and run. So now I'll just copy this. This is a map that I think we tried to make, right? Isn't it? Great. Okay. So the way, can anybody tell me how to add title and all of that? Labs. Labs. I will not give any names to the latitude, longitude. I'll just say title. What is the title?
Number of households with a disabled population. Disabled person.
Where is the data coming from?
Data.government.in.
Which data set in that?
I forgot to report that.
Okay, how many of you can tell how many data sets there are there in data.gov.in?
I don't know.
At least 1 lakh data sets are there. Okay, how to, you're now trying to find a needle in a haystack. Okay.
I think that this is NFHS5 because similar things there in my data set. I'm still not sure.
Anemia can be there in 1,000 data sets. Okay, hemoglobin value, but you really don't know which year. NFHS 5, NFHS 4, NFHS 3, you're not sure. And you did not even give the link here. And if you would have given the link here, you would have gone back, cross-checked and put it right then and there, isn't it? So these are the reasons that I asked you to, these are certain good practices that will not only help you to learn, but also in practice also. Okay. Okay. Caption, I'll data from the something survey. That I leave it for you to change, Parthi. Okay. Survey, which year to which year also you have to write. I'm just writing it 2021. I'm assuming that it is NFHS 5. Okay.
This is pretty old data set, 2009 and 10.
Yeah. In that case, then you will have to be very critical about what you're writing there. Okay. And then if you want, you can add the subtitle. Whatever. I will say this is subtitle. Okay, for now. Okay. And fill is okay. I'll just remove this. Okay. Is it clear?
Okay.
Makes more sense, no? Now the question can be: I don't want this plus 2 to the power raised 0.4. I mean, what this means is 2 followed by 6 zeros. Imagine that you want actual numbers. Okay. Isn't it? You would prefer numbers, no? So how to do that? Type pen. Huh? Okay, I will just Google it. There's nothing wrong with just Googling things. Huh? Remove or prevent. Yeah, options Saipan N. Huh? I think it's 10,000 or something, 999. Yeah, I think. Yeah, options Saipan. So see, earlier it was this. Okay, plus 2 e plus e to the power 6. 0.6. Okay, don't worry about this. This just means that there are 6 zeros followed by this. Okay. So what and this is a very so there are multiple options. For example, get option For example, you are trying to fetch some data from online, okay, and the data set is very big. Sometimes you might have gotten some error when you're actually loading a package or installing a package. Timeout will be there, no? Timeout. Okay, right now timeout is set for 60 seconds. So if your net is slow or the data is big, what will happen is after 60 seconds, it will say automatically it will time out. It will say that, okay, I cannot do this. Okay. But you can set options like similarly, you can say timeout is now 600 seconds, 10 minutes. Okay. So now it says that time option is 600. So you don't use this always. You know? Sometimes it's good to know these options are also available, right? Otherwise, your guide might say or somebody might say, what is this plus this thing? You know, though you know that it is followed by 6 zeros, some people might not like it. Okay, you have used Viridis fill. I'm okay, totally good, happy with it. But you can also look at the other options. You can just look at the help menu. These are basically Viridis is a colorblind palette. It's used for colorblind people. I hope. Did you know this, Parthi, before you use this?
Actually, I used the one what you used in that map, sir, but that is not working. So I just
Okay.
for this.
Okay. It's always we talk about equity and things. People who are colorblind also should be able to read plots properly. So this is one of the benefits of having this kind of control over things, right? If you're using, okay, for example, you're submitting this to Lancet. Okay, how would you? No, there is a interesting package. It's called GG Sci. Yeah, GG Sci. So GG Sci has n number of color options. If you can see, Lancet is there, Journal of Oncology is there, JAMA is there, Frontiers is there, Rick and Morty, Simpsons, Star Trek, Tron, University of Chicago. All these options are also there. So when you get time, just have a look at them. What I'll do is I'll just show you an example. I'll just load this library called GGSci. Okay, and then instead of scale fill Viridis, what I'll do is scale fill Lancet. Okay. It's saying continuous value is applied to this thing. So I think what I can do is I can just go here. Okay. Anyway, there should be an option where we are using this for continuous value. Yeah. CSCA gene pattern. Let us look at that. GSCA, scale fill GSCA. Okay. I mean, we can use anything, but when you're submitting to standard journals, it's very easy to do all this, right? For example, you have submitted it to JAMA. They said rejected. You now want to submit to Lancet. You don't want to do the whole thing again. No? Only thing is you just change this to Lancet or JAMA and things, and everything is reproduced. Okay. Okay. For now, I will just say this. I'll stop this here. Okay. We will now come to some of the things that I've just created a session. previously, session 6. Right now, I have code, data, shape files, but let me run this script. Okay, let me run this script. I think this is something that Subarna shared. Subarna, is this the one you shared? Lassie, India, State UT. Are you there, Subarna?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So you also shared a text document. So this is one and the same, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What I would have liked was to actually, where it is this, create a new script. Okay. So Subarna, PHDMI, longitudinal aging study of India. Okay, this is good. You're giving the data set where it's coming from, and this is everything is the same. Let us load this data. Okay, it's saying that it could not find function read Excel. So I will give this option to Anand. Anand, why do you think this error comes?
Because the file doesn't exist in the proper directory.
Okay, I would like for you to read the error once. So read the last line of the error.
We couldn't find the function read Excel, so we have to give the proper function.
Okay, the function might be read Excel.
I think it's the library.
Yeah, but the read Excel function is coming from this package called read Excel, isn't it? You see the help menu. You're able to see this.
Yes, sir.
So you should load this package, or at least what
Yes,
you should have done is read Excel dot. Okay. Now if I run this, I will not have any error. Okay, it says that path does not exist. Okay, why the path does not exist? Exactly why it says, because as of right now, the data is here at the in my working directory. I should move it. No? I should put it in my you're saying raw data. Okay, I should put it in the raw data. Okay, what I'll do is I'll click on this. Okay, and I'll say more. I'll say move. It will then open a window. Where do I want to move? I'll say move to raw data. Okay. So now if I open my raw data, there is this last one. Is it clear? It is just, you can go do this, you can open this and you can copy paste. That also works. Okay. But I'm a little lazy. I don't want to move between windows. I like to do it here itself. So now if I run this, it will say, yes, DF is there, 37 observations, 191 variables. Now you want to glimpse the variables. So this is what it is. It's again a lengthy list of things. So yeah. Okay. When you work with this kind of data sets, it's always good to have a data dictionary. Okay. So every variable can have a label. Okay. For example, the variable sex, its label can be gender. Okay. For example, the variable age underscore groups can have a label called age in years or age in age groups, right? What I mean to say is these are labels. So you can, the variable name can be HOSP underscore past underscore 12, isn't it? So the variable can be something else, the label can be something else, isn't it? So if you want to type this variable name, it need not be HOSP hospitalization in the past. That lengthy thing need not be there. Or for example, you have 12 questions in your questionnaire, or 21 questions, or 54 questions. your variable name can be Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, Q5. And your labels can be the question itself. You get my point?
Yes, sir.
So that's also possible. That's possible from a package called labeled. Okay? Let us look at that. There's a package called labeled or SJ labeled. There are two basically. Labeled package. If you look at the description, vignettes. Go. So the purpose of this label package is to provide functions to manipulate metadata as variable labels. Now the value labels are defined using SPSS or Haven labels anyway. So there are two approaches to whenever you do any data science work, right? The first approach is to, you're able to see this, no?
Yes, sir.
Can you zoom it a bit, sir?
Great. Is it better?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there are two approaches. What you can do is you can do your data analysis, import the data, convert your data, recode it, and do the analysis. Or you can simultaneously take the data. You can do the cleaning before you convert and then do the analysis. Okay. So what is the better one? We don't know. For example, if you are having zeros and ones as male and female, do you code it as male and female before you do the analysis or after you do the analysis? For example, if you are, ideally you have to do it before, but usually what we do is we create a table, zeros, ones, and then copy it into our Word, and then we change the tables, isn't it? That's how we do it, no? I mean, that's how I used to do it, at least when I was using SPSS or Stata. But I don't want to bring this concept now. Okay, but just be aware that there is this thing called labeling. You can label your variables. For example, this iris variable is written as sepal.length, but you can give it a variable label called length of the sepal. Okay, petal
Sorry, sir, can
underscore
you
length.
zoom? I don't know. It's not visible to me for others.
1 second. Let me open it here. Is it better?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So, for example, this iris data set has a number of variables. Ideally, that is why I tell you, when you write your variables, it has to be in the snake case, right? But they have written it as petal, P capital, and dot length. This is the name of the variable, how it is written. This means it is the length of the petal. Petal dot width is width of the petal. We can write it as Q1. And Q1 can be how much sleep did you have in the last 3 days. Q2. It could be what was the quality of the sleep. You get my point? So
Yes, sir.
every variable can have its own label. That concept, we can look at it later on, or if we have time, but you have to be aware that this is also there. So when you look at this data set, these are mostly variable labels, isn't it? Rather than variable names. So when you actually do the conversion to janitor clean names, all this will become overweight underscore by underscore anthropometric underscore indicators. Okay, but you must think, okay, but when I want to make it a table, I want this as complete thing. You get my point? I don't want the underscores. I want to convert it back to its original shape. So that times this labeled thing will become helpful, be helpful. Okay, just be aware of that. So anyway, what I think it's a good practice to actually, I think what Subarna you were doing is typing the percentage symbol, no? Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. what I would suggest is that use Control Shift M for Mogambo. Okay, M Mumbai.
Control Shift M.
The moment you press Control Shift M, it will automatically give the spaces for you. It will automatically make this pipe symbol.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so now we can write
Okay.
glimpse. Is it clear? So use Control Shift M, C T R L plus Shift plus M. This is what I'm saying. Okay? Use this. Okay, and Alt yeah. For the assignment operator, which we use minus less than symbol and minus sign, no? Isn't it? This one. The shortcut is Alt plus minus. Not plus minus, Alt and minus. You press together, you will get the assignment operator. This also will give you the spaces automatically. So, for example, DF Alt minus DF. See, it automatically gave me the spaces.
Space.
Okay. So these are two shortcuts that I very vehemently, would like to, insist that you use it, because it will do away with all the unnecessary things. Because if you want to go to percentage greater than symbol percentage, it will usually take a lot of your time. Okay. So you have filtered India. Indicators is not found. So the reason is that you have not cleaned the variable names. So what you can do is you can go to DF and you can say clean names. So it's working. Clean names is working. All this have been cleaned. So all I need to do is I type DF and then Alt minus. Okay, it automatically run that for me. Alt minus. I'm not using the less than minus symbol. Okay. So now if I run this, it says yes. It's now not 37, 36 because it removed India, isn't it? But then this also I would like to Alt minus. Okay. Then you're going to, okay, it says file does not exist. Again, the reason is that in my files, shape files is not there. My shape files is here. Okay, so I need to move it there. What I'll do is I'll select this, I'll say move, and I'll select my files option and say open. Okay, and now if I run this, it should work, isn't it? Okay, this is not required. Yeah, it's one and the same. Are you guys trying to read what is written here? Are you trying to read? It's a little difficult to read, huh? Why? The reason is it easier to read now?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir. And sir, last 46
Yes,
there is
sir.
a space in that symbol.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Okay. See, this is why I insist that you use spaces, because it's not only easy for when you glance at it, it's easier to read it. If the same thing you have to read without spaces, it will be very difficult. Imagine I'm writing all this. See, are you able to read this? Join the longitudinal aging study data set. You're able to read this, no?
Yes, sir.
Line 41. But what if I
Yes.
did this? Is it easy to read?
No,
Line
sir.
No, sir.
Okay. So it's one and the same. It's how we perceive things, right? Spaces are there. See, it's free real estate, right? I would say that, again, if you remember, spaces needs to be given at some places, not at some places. You know? So in relationships, you need to give space. When you're trying to explain things, you need to give space. When you're trying to write code, also give space when it is necessary. You know? Otherwise, it will jumble things up. Anyway, I'll not go there. So what are we trying to do? We're trying to select only those where okay, you're renaming the state. Then you're looking at why did you take one itself? Okay, in the next one you have taken. A lot of things are not matching, huh? So you have done this. So in DF, it was written this way. Then you're saying it is that way. Then it is good if you give an enter here. Let us see if it's working. It's working. But then you will have to do this, no? You'll have to rewrite it, no? Reassign it. If you don't assign it, nothing is going to change. Okay? And then this is still not working. Just 1 second. Okay. This is what we're trying to do, right? Okay. In DF, what was the state name? In DF, what was the state name? State, no? So these are the ones. So this is how you try to write it. Now, if this is done, then India SF not found. Why is India SF not found? Then how did this come? India SF is here, no? Okay, it's state, not area name. Why is India SF not found? India State SF, huh? We have called it India State SF, no? Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So either you change this to
Yes, sir.
India SF or this to India SF. So what I'll do is I'll change it here. Yeah. So now some errors coming. Let us load it once again. Yes, state underscore name. If you guys are having difficulty to follow, please tell me. Still says that Andaman Nicobar in DF, state name. So it has to be state name. So Chhattisgarh, Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, Telangana are not matching.
Yes, it has those dumps like Telangana and
I think the way it was written is ulta, na?
For Chhattisgarh, the name written as Chhattisgarh in state files.
Yeah. So in the if this is this, then change it to this, isn't it? You have written it ulta. Correct, no? Am I right?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's that.
And always it's good practice to give spaces. Otherwise, it's difficult to understand. At least here you give space. Here you can give space. And I'll show a very nifty trick you want to see. You want to
Yes,
see
sir.
a nifty trick?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have used multiple cursors.
How to do that, sir?
Yes.
Okay. You can just press Alt and drag.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
And how to like go back to single cursor then?
Just press Escape.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, Chhattisgarh is clean. Then Jammu and Kashmir also needs to be reversed. No.
Yes, sir.
Then if it is Ladakh,
Telangana.
yeah. So SF has.
Ladakh.
So even if it is Jammu and Kashmir, for now let us leave Ladakh for a while. Okay. We don't have data in Ladakh, but the shape file has Ladakh. So for now we'll
Yes, sir.
assume that Ladakh is NA. Okay. Or we can just give an asterisk or whatever. And Telangana is also something that we need to change. This is an honest mistake, Subarna. Even I also usually sometimes forget which is state, which is district. Sorry, the DF, which is DF and which is SF. So what I'll do is I'll run all of this again to see everything is working properly. Yeah. This has run. Now, if I state is not found. Why? Okay, till here is running. Let me look at the different states. It says state is not found. The reason is it's state name, no? Not state. Isn't it? State name.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what I
Yes,
can
sir.
do is I can really quickly do this. Enough.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay. Now it should work, isn't it? Let us run this and see. It says state name is not found. Why is it not found? Let us look at DF. Because DF is called indicators, no? But we are saying a state name is equal to this. It's not state name, it's indicators, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Enough. So you need to again Let's see if it's working now. No error. Okay. All are true. Character 0. Oh, Ladakh is missing. Yeah, I would agree. Mana, that's fine.
Yes, sir.
Now this is not necessary. This is also not necessary. Now we want to create a plot, isn't it? Plot of what? Your DF has. Subarna, what are you trying to take a plot of? Mean household size.
The household size, yes.
Okay, we'll take the. We need to join these both now, no? Right? Now you guys have enough practice. Now you need to tell me how to do that. Okay, joining both the data sets. Is this yellow cursor disturbing you?
Yes,
No,
sir.
it's better. No, at least you are able to hone in where my cursor is. Okay. So joining both the data sets. So what is the syntax? You're going to take the shape file first.
Yeah.
It's called India State SF. And then you're going to left join the data set.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So we'll say left join. The data set is DF. And if I run it now, do you think it will work?
You have to reassign it.
Yeah, because we have already created state name here. And there is already a state name here. So it will join by state names. I'm not specifying anything, but the moment I run this, it will say joining by state name. And if it is working, then we'll say India join state SF. Okay. See, what did it say? Come back here. What is it joining by?
State name on this.
Okay. So because there is a common one. Earlier there was no common one, so we specifically mentioned that area name is state name and whatever, right? So you have this control in left join. Merge does not have. Anyway, now it's joining well. So I'll call it India in join SF. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Oh, sorry. It's the SF. Okay. So now what I'll do is sometimes we create these unnecessary data sets in between. No, if you're confused, you want to remove it. There is a very easy way to remove it. You just, for example, this as a DF I want to remove. Okay, so I can just pipe it and say RM. Sorry, small letters RM, and then oh, it's supposed to remove it. Interesting. Yeah, it is removed. No, it's no longer there. So this RM, you can use it to remove things if you want. Anyway, now that this is there, can anybody tell me how to plot now? Gigi?
Plot
GG.
first,
Gigi plot,
VG
then
and then geom underscore SF.
GM
geom
underscore FS, SF, then
Aesthetic.
aesthetic
aesthetic fill
equals to
Fill.
equals to state underscore name.
state underscore name. Is that
Yeah,
you want
indicator.
to? No, you want to do it by
Yes, sir.
main household size, nah?
Yes,
Isn't it?
sir.
By default, it will give you a blue and this palette. You can change that palette anyway. If you see Ladakh, it's missing. That's
Yes,
how you wanted it to be. That's how you. So if you see Tamil Nadu, Sikkim, they have higher. Sorry. Interestingly, it should be the other way. This is not a very helpful palette actually. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
yes.
Okay. Not
Actually,
very
dark color
helpful.
is given to the lower mean household size is less.
So we can scale fill because we're using fill. right? Scale fill. You can say it's a. Let us go to brewer, or we can go to fermenter or distiller, and then palette equals to. So you can just take the help menu, and in the help menu you have n number of options. If you want to see palette green set, let us see what is palette green. Is it better? Not better. It has to be the other way around, no?
Yes, sir.
No?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir. Only color has changed. But
direction equals to, if you want to know what is the default direction, see default direction is 1. Direction 1, direction 1. That this is for distiller. Distiller direction is -1 by default. So now if you specify direction equals to 1, see, this is now more meaningful, isn't it? By looking at
yes,
it, you
sir.
know, okay, Tamil Nadu and other states, I mean, at least the South Indian states are lighter colors, right? As compared to UP, Jharkhand, Bihar, to an extent. What state is this?
Yes, sir.
Meghalaya.
Meghalaya, sir.
Manipur.
Meghalaya it is.
Meghalaya.
Okay, okay. So these have higher, family size. It could be possible that these are all nuclear families. They must be joint families. But this is, mean household size. Joint families will be more than, 20 or something like that. Anyway, that is why higher population is there in UP and Bihar and these areas, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So this is what, this is Lassie, is it? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What else what other variables we have here?
There are many variables are there. I couldn't go through every.
Okay. You want to look at a sex ratio?
Yes, sir. We can see that.
Let's see, look at the sex ratio. It's been very too many years since we all talked about sex ratio. So all that needs to be done is we can just copy this, then paste it here, and take this variable. I would. Kerala should be highest, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Punjab, Haryana have the least, isn't it?
Nagaland also have.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But then you would not expect it to be this stark a difference, no? I mean, it's a little stark, isn't it? In the sense that
Yes,
here
neighboring
to here.
states, there is difference of color.
So, okay, now let us look at other rates. Could we make a couple of more plots? Health insurance coverage percentage.
Health insurance coverage.
Let us look at this. Okay, it says that this is a continuous variable because it's a percentage. Discrete values applied to a. Okay. Now let us look at why this is not working. I mean, why there is an error. You can do a categorical this thing, but I just wanted to just have a look. So it's actually a character variable, isn't it? Okay. If we actually look at the class of this variable, how do I know it's a character variable? Because first, when I type this, it's in quotations. Okay. It's a character variable. I know where the error has come. The error has come because of this. 0.01. If you convert this into numeric, everything else will be turning into numeric. But there are ways to do that. I'll just show you one very quick example that you want to parse the numeric. Parse a double. It says that in the first row, see, this parse double is coming from the readr package. Okay. Because it's part of the tidyverse. So it not only converted everything to a double, because everything was a character earlier, to a double, but it also said, in the row 1, I expected a double, but it is written this way. So I only could turn it into an NA. But you can specify, okay. One thing what you can do is, write in your DF, when you're cleaning your DF itself, you can say mutate. Mutate what? Mutate health insurance coverage percentage equals to, if else, health this is equal to do you understand what I'm trying to say? I'm removing these.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm removing these.
Yes, sir.
And then
Perfect.
what I can, other thing I can do is I can directly here itself parse double. Let's see if it's working. Working.
In the data set, it was with brackets, so that's what it was saying.
In the data, it's written as with brackets. Okay. That is why it is considering to be a character.
Okay.
So now we have done that here. I mean, the reason I did this manipulation up here is that whenever you're cleaning data, it has to be at the right place. Do all the manipulations at one place, then you bring in your data, then you join it. There's no point in joining it and then manipulating it. Okay. So now what I would like to do is, if I, for now, I'll just this. Now that error did not come. Which error? Discrete values applied to a continuous thing. No? Interestingly, Odisha has a very high insurance coverage. Much more than the national average. If you want to see okay, now the question is, what if I want to color it by whether a state has is more or less than the national average? Isn't it?
Yes.
That's also possible.
Yes, sir.
What you can do is, you can do the manipulation there itself on top, but I'm doing it here. Can you tell me the code?
So some category for higher or lower.
Yeah. Health insurance cat equals to, because it will be only two categories, right? Two categories. So what we'll say is we'll take the mean or median of this country. And if the health insurance is coverage percentage is greater than the mean of the country, okay, is greater than or equal to the median of so and so, because it has NAs, no, the state has NA, one state is NA. So what we'll do is we'll say NA.RM equals to true. Okay.
But sir, we have removed the observation of India. No? So will it work? It has a data on average.
No, we are asking it to create it for us. If
Okay,
you would have
sir.
included India, it will take India also and create the median, which we don't want.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So if it is yeah, the median is this, then if then we'll say higher, high coverage, है ना? Else low coverage. Low insurance. Okay. If this is working, yeah, it has created a dichotomous variable, low insurance, high insurance. And then I will just assign it to this, alt minus, control enter. And then I'll very quickly take this plot. And this time I don't want any, I want to use the default palette. I'll What does this mean? These states have higher insurance coverage than the national average. This has lower insurance. And for this, you should actually create a title, subtitle, where the data is coming from, and all of that. Is that clear?
Yes.
Lakshadweep has higher. Okay. Anyway. Okay.
But sir, in this figure, Odisha is high insurance coverage. Okay. Red is high insurance.
Yeah. Or you want to reverse it also, it's possible, but because it is categorical, you can specify. Okay. But what you can do is you can specify, you can say scale, sorry, not here, it's here, no? You can say scale fill manual. There's a manual way to do it. Scale fill manual, where values are I think what you can do, let us look at the help menu. We can specify values are so and so. For high, which color do you want? Dark red?
No, sir.
For high you want green, huh?
Green or blue, like that.
Okay, values equals to C. If it is, how do I know which one is first and which one is later? Because if you are not specifying if it is a factor, it is going to consider it as a character. So alphabetical order, high insurance would be first. HL, no? First H. So that's how I know. I'll call it blue. Okay. And this I'll call it red. Okay. It will say error. The reason is, oh no, it did not, because even though if I read it wrong, actually, it has to be R. See, R understands that when I said it is red, it is saying that it is red. It is automatically coloring for me. I can also say magenta. It will turn into magenta. You know? I can also say, do anybody know any hex colors? Hex colors?
So
Okay.
BF616
Sorry. So this is a hex color that I like teal very much. So I can just, it automatically colored it for me. So I know here itself that what color I'm going to use. Okay. So instead of this, I'll use instead of blue, I'll use teal. Okay, and instead of red, I'll use magenta. Okay, there's an empty one. I know it's not a very good color palette. People will get blinded by this. It's not colorblind friendly. But yeah, I'm just trying to
Yes, sir.
explain that all this is also possible.
But sir, how do we assign like which color goes to which? Like the teal goes to high and magenta goes to low.
Yeah, if you want a little more granular control, you can say this.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but alphabetically it will go. Okay.
Okay.
Is there a crimson? Oh, crimson is not there. Any other color? Yellow. Oh, yellow is there. No, but I don't want to blind you guys. Okay, not so bad. Okay, anyway. So you got the hang of it?
Yes, sir. It is very nice features.
Okay, fine. No, but then, Subarna, I would like you to add the titles, subtitles, the caption, the fill color and everything, along with where the data is coming from which year to which year. All of that needs to be. So, okay, I'll just add one more component. There is, for every map, when you actually look at the graphical principles of map making, you need to have a northing arrow and also the scale. Okay, so adding the
Yes, sir.
northing arrow and scale is very important whenever you write an map, and it's very easy to do that within R. Okay, you just have to Google it. You can say geom. It's coming from this package GG Spatial. GG is the extension, no? GG Spatial, northing arrow and scale. So it's a spatial data framework for ggplot. All of this is written. I think it's for Ezber. Who is the author? Anyway, look at the documentation. This is a scale. Very simple. All I need to do is plus scale location top left corner, or you want bottom right, whatever you want, you can put. You know, it's not a issue. The command for doing it is just annotate north arrow, annotate scale. Okay, but this is coming from this GG spatial package, so I need to load that. Okay, once I loaded that, so scale north arrow. You want that north arrow not to be in bottom right, you want to be in top right, and you want the scale to be in bottom left. Okay, bottom left. Okay, but you can also go very fancy and things. You can look at other options as well. I think if you look at north arrow. North Aeronautical. Style equals to, no? Interesting. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll just there are different kinds of nautical means that you have this compass symbol, and it's quite. I'll just show you here itself. This. You seeing this? Yeah.
But
Yeah,
this doesn't look like that.
Sorry, yeah, it doesn't look like. Just one second. Digi spatial. Supposed to be not. 1 second. Yeah, I think this is. See, the North
Yes.
arrow
Yes.
looks better, na?
Yes.
Similarly, you can do that with the scale as well. For
Sir.
example, sorry. See, the scale also you can alternate things and put. It looks. Look at this map here. Look at how nice it looks, right? It looks like a very professionally made map, right? Get my point?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
It's. I can just copy this and directly put it here. I can just this. Yeah. See? Okay. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. One
Yes,
other
sir.
thing is that if you only want this for maybe a couple of states, you know, for example, let us take Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka. If you filter it, everything will be, even the scale and everything will change, and it will make it approximate to that. Okay. Let me just select Kerala alone, just to, show it to you. What was the state's name again? It's state name, no? Filter state underscore name is equal to Kerala, isn't it? Right. See, 60 kilometers. Okay. Get my point?
Yes, yes.
So you don't have
Yes.
to manually change the scale and do that and everything. Everything is automatically done for you. Okay. Okay. I'll remove this. Okay. So this is Subarnas, na? I'll call this. I know though I'm tempted to use this folder, it has a capital, so I don't want to use it. I think this should be Shruti's.
Yes, sir.
You must have written it that way. Okay, I'll. Okay. So now let us look at this one. This is coming from union tax duties released by state governments. You guys have to go. Do you guys have to go?
No, sir.
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
So as of right now, it's saying that the data is not there. Files option, the data is residing here. So I'll move it. I'll move it. Data, raw data. Open. So
This is not my data. Sir.
sorry.
This is full data, sir.
This is actually Anand's data. This
Okay.
Anand had some trouble to load the data and this stuff.
Okay,
Line
sir.
15, I'll just try to explain what's happening. Line 15 is that it's taking, it's using the function read Excel to load the data set. Okay. The read Excel function takes the file path. Okay. Read Excel, if you look at the help menu, it says the path. So the path we are creating using here. Okay. So this is as good as saying, okay. And then we can just paste it here. Okay. It's one and the same. Let me clean everything from my environment so that I'm starting afresh. There is nothing, no df, nothing. I can just run this and here. Okay.
Okay.
And so the first line 15 is creating this Excel file path for you. So you can just type Excel file path, and this is the file path. It's already created. I would suggest that don't use spaces in between your file names. So union taxes, there is a space. It would have been better if you used underscore. That's I don't want you to use dots, even though the previous file iris petal length, petal depth, width, they're using dots, right? The issue with using dots is that you don't know when it will turn into a file extension.
Yeah, data.geo we don't have this.
Yeah, we have to be very careful. That's why I don't prefer to use dots. Some people prefer to use dots, but that's why I stick to snake case, especially when we are writing file paths and file names. Okay. So looking at the data set, this is not a very big data set. It's only 8 variables. So it says that these states are there, and this is the years, and this is the tax, isn't it? This is the union taxes, no?
Yes.
Okay. So what we have done till now with all the data sets is that we had clean data, tidy data in a way. But this one is not tidy data because of, you have to tell me the reason why it's not tidy data. What are the principles of tidy data?
All the columns are variables, and rows are observations,
Okay.
and every cell have.
So the union tax for the year 2017-18, it is one observation, isn't it?
Yes.
But here the observation is written as a column.
Yeah.
Don't you agree?
Yes.
So ideally it has to have a column called serial number, yes, state, yes. It has to be year. And for each year, there should be a column called union taxes. Yeah. So you agree with what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how do we do that? We will just do a little bit of wrangling of the data. Okay. So we'll take df and then we'll pivot it. We'll pivot it longer so that this wide data 2017, 18, 19, 20, whatever these columns are there, they have to become rows. Okay? So we are pivoting the longer things to this thing. So the values, so when pivot longer, it's asking what is the data we already provided, and it's asking which column should I pivot. So I will, one thing we can do is we can remove serial number for now. We don't need that. We'll say select -1. Okay. What select -1 is doing?
Remove serial numbers.
It is going to remove the first column. Okay. And then which data we are going to select? We'll select everything except state. Okay.
Okay.
See, let us look at the help menu. Help is help. Columns. So you can say that, okay, take this WHO data set, pivot longer. The columns are from here to here. So for me, I need all the columns except state. So I'm just removing state. Okay. And then I'm saying the name should go to value names. Name should go to year. Okay. And values, isn't it? Value should go to unit access. It's saying that I cannot combine numerics and this. That means there are some ways that some people have written things differently. There might be some number or name or some bracket, comma, something is wrong. So what you can do is first convert everything to a character. Okay. If you remember first day, what was to convert all the columns to a character, what did we use? Mutate. Mutate what? Mutate all.
Mutate all.
As dot character. Okay. You're mutating everything to a character, no?
Yes.
Now see, now it has worked. See, this is the format we want, na? State, year, unit tax. Isn't it? But now you can say that, okay, now how am I going to join it? Because there are multiple states and things and all of that. So those are challenges that we have to anticipate. Na? So what you can do is you can take yearly data and you can join it, make separate shape files. Na? Or what you can do is you can get the, we will look at it, what we can do. Na? As of right now, this unit access is written as a character. We would like to parse it as a number, isn't it? It's not a character. We would like to parse it as a number. We'll say mutate union access equals to parse double unit access. See, it has worked now. And interestingly, there are no NAs introduced. Earlier it was saying that one thing the bracket thing was a mistake, so I could not do it. Huh? So basically here the issue is that there are unnecessary percentages and things which it considered to be a character because it was coming from an Excel data set. Huh? So just with this 1, 2, 3, 4 lines of code, we converted this into a tidy data frame. Okay. Is it okay?
Okay.
Okay. Now I'll write it as df. I don't want to write it as df because I've manipulated it too much. So I'll say df long. Okay. So it's a long format. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that fine?
Fine.
Now, for example, now I want to join it. No? But I want to, so if you're thinking of a map, what are you thinking of? Because this data is coming from the union taxes, Rajya Sabha, answer
Yes,
on this. The question is, this does not have all the states. No. How do I know how many states are there? What I can do is I can take DF long, and then I can say distinct state. Say 30 states are there. Okay. So what I can do, or what I think would be interesting, is that if I want to see as time is progressing, I want to find out if the share of the union taxes is the proportion of total taxes is increasing or decreasing.
sorry, sir.
Does that sound something meaningful? Okay,
Yes,
I
sir.
think so. What I mean to say is that if Andhra Pradesh is like 3% of the union taxes in 2017, how much is it in 18? How much is it in 19? How much is it in 20? Is this going down, up, or fluctuating, or did Corona have some kind of effect? This is a question that I have. If you remember the exploratory data analysis, session, you need to query the data. We need to come up with questions, right? And you need to ask these questions properly. And it does not mean that for every question you need to make a map and do it. Map is a separate thing, right? Some questions need to be answered just like that. You get my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. For now, because the data from 2022 to 2023 is not complete, and it's only till March of, I think 20 days, till 20, I mean, because it all works in the financial year. Don't assume that when I say 2017, 2018, it's from January 2017. It's from the 1st of April, isn't it?
Yes.
It's the financial year, no?
Yes.
I hope you all know what I'm trying to say.
Yes, sir. Please.
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll include that 2020, 23 as well. I don't think so. That's the problem. But I don't want to, I want to remove this till 10th March. Okay. What I can do is I can just here itself in year, I will say mutate year equals to str remove all. What do you want to remove? You want to remove from year. I want to remove this. Okay. Just replacement. it's asking for a regex. And
So for this single error, we can delete it in our Excel file and reload it, right? So
yeah, if it's single, you can delete it, but then I would not recommend you to do any sort of manipulation which is not documented. Okay.
okay.
But yeah, for now I'll not change this. There's something that is happening. I think I need to reload some string I package or something. Anyway, for now let us leave the year as it is. Okay, so what we can do is we can create what is the proportion of budget for each of the states for each of the year. Okay,
Okay.
so we can take DF long, and then we can say group by for each of the state, no? State,
Yes.
group by state, and then summarize the sum of union taxes. So for each state, this is the total tax. Okay. But Jammu and Kashmir NA is there. That means that one of the years it did not have any tax.
Yeah.
Okay. I will say NA.RM equals to true. Then it has created the tax. Isn't it? So this is the total. But this is total for whole of the state. For all the years combined. Isn't it?
No, sir, I couldn't understand that NA.RM. How can we give that for that specific year only?
So what actually happened is that if you look at this DF long, so if you look at Jammu and Kashmir for 2020, 2021, 2022, there are no entries.
Okay, sir.
But if you look at the data set, maybe there is, isn't it? No, even the data set also doesn't have any. I mean, have data.
Yes.
Okay. So when you're asking the sum of all of the money that Kashmir has paid to the center. Okay.
Yes.
So it has to add this, and this. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's saying that I can add this, and this, but I cannot add NA because if this has to be 0, no?
Yes.
So I'm saying that, okay, don't remove these NAs. Okay. Don't use it to add. Just add these 3 and tell me. So that is what NA.RM is doing.
Okay.
Isn't it?
Okay.
So now it has given me the total sum by state. Okay. But I want it by year also. I want it for each year. I mean, I don't need it by state. So for this year, the total sum budget is this much. Okay, this is basically nothing but if you look at DF long, sorry, DF, it's the sum of all these things. Is the sum of the first column is this one. Sum of the second column is this one. Sum of the third column is this one. So now what I can do is I can ask it to actually create the proportions. Okay. So for example, I can ask it. Just bear with me. So, Andhra Pradesh in the year, let me just add here also. So, Andhra Pradesh in year 2017, are you able to see this?
Yes, sir. Little.
Is it better?
Yeah.
So, Andhra Pradesh in the year 2017-18 paid this much tax. Okay. But that year, the total sum was this much. So, it's around 15% of not this.
The total sum in the sense it is the total sum
Yeah,
paid.
it's actually coming as the other one. It is. Okay. What we can do is first, I'll break this down. Huh? For every year, how much is the total tax? Okay. Summarize total. Just bear with me. I know it's confusing. Tax equals to the sum of all this, isn't it? So for this year, it is this much. This year, it is this much. You get my point? Is this clear? How we got this one? For every year, what is the total tax paid combined all of the states together? Okay.
Okay.
So this will be what we'll call this as DF summary or total sum. Total by year. Okay. You get my point?
Yes, sir.
So if I look at this, it's total by year. Okay. So now I'll take our DF long. Okay. So for DF long, I have this data. I have how much this has paid for this year. Okay. Now I want to join or create a column called total tax. So I can just say left join, and then I will just say, sorry, left join by total year by year. Yeah. So now what's happening is that for this year, this much tax is the total tax. Enough. For Arunachal Pradesh also, if you see this and this are the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because all the
Yeah.
tax rate.
Yeah. Okay. So now what I'll do is df long. I'll again call this itself. Update this. Okay. Now I'll say for each state and each year, tell me what is the proportion of union taxes by the total tax. Isn't it? So this is what it is. Total union tax, isn't it?
Union taxes.
See? I'll multiply it by 100. Okay. Okay, I need to ungroup this. Once you're grouping it, you have to ensure that you're ungrouping it as well. Okay, there is a total also. You see, that is why our errors are coming. The states contain one total column as well.
Okay.
Okay. So anything that we do, we have to first remove that, isn't it? Don't you agree?
Yes.
DF. $29. Now it's better.
Okay.
Yeah, UP is been given the most. Now what we can do is now we have taken this data and we'll call it DF summary data. Okay. And then we'll make some plots with this. Okay. Say DF summary. And then we'll say that, okay, let me take the year on the x-axis, you know, and the proportion on the y-axis. Okay.
Okay.
So ggplot AES x equals to year, y equals to prop union tax. Okay. There's an empty plot that we have created. So now, would you want a line or you want a dot? How do you want it? You should have a line, no? Isn't it? So geom line. Okay, but there's an issue. It's saying that, okay, I'm not able to understand what you're trying to say. So we have to say that there is a grouping. Group equals to what? Sorry, color. Group equals to state, sorry. Isn't it? Or you can say color equals to okay. And then you might want to break it down. Okay. There is not much difference that has happened as years progressed. Andhra Pradesh was contributing 5% of the Indian taxes, almost 5%. And maybe the effect of Corona went a little because it went from somewhere around 4.7 or something to 4.5 or something. Not much difference. Okay.
Okay.
Arunachal Pradesh had a slight increase as days passed. Assam also this one, somewhere around, it's about 2.5, should be around 3 or something. Bihar. So this is not what the state has contributed. It is how much the center is giving to the state, isn't it? Don't you agree? Anand, you have downloaded the data, so you must be able to tell it.
Sir, I
I
thought
don't-
the state was contributing to center.
No, that's wrong. I don't think so. We had a lot of, if you see the highest contributor for union taxes is Tamil Nadu, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, contributor to the center in terms of tax, GDP. But state is paying mostly to the backward states, UP, Bihar. You get my point?
Yes.
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 No, I think Anand, I don't know if you'll agree with this, but I think it is what center is contributing to the state.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, so by this you can say even after COVID happened, there is a lot of increase in the percentage change of budgetary allocation. Maybe Maharashtra started seeing a slighter increase in budgetary allocation. Rajasthan also started seeing better budgetary allocation. Kerala has seen a dip in budgetary allocation of some reasons. Tamil Nadu has still stayed the same. Karnataka also seen a bigger dip. Andhra Pradesh seen a dip. Assam slightly the same. Arunachal Pradesh has seen a slight increase. Odisha seen a dip. Telangana seen a dip. So it will be interesting to see what are BJP, non-BJP states and see if there is any difference.
So why Jammu and Kashmir will be half a line?
Yeah, the reason is there was no data provided for the year 2020, 2021, 19, isn't it, Anand?
Yes, sir.
For these 1, 2, 3 time points, it was NAs.
NA.
So yeah, it just stopped there. Okay, I'll just want to just give you a kind of clarity. There is a plot called, package called, I'll stop with this today. We can take a little breather. Maybe Tuesday we can start with something else. But I'd like you to introduce you to this package, Plotly. Library Plotly. So let us say this is plot 1, for example. What is plot 1? This busy, this line diagram is a plot 1. Now, you'd like to see some kind of interactivity for this plot. What you can say is there's a function in Plotly called ggplotly. Okay, and ggplotly takes the ggplot as a object or an argument. The moment you do that, it will create an interactive visualization for you. I can just zoom this, and I can hover over this and says, okay, this is union tax is this much for the state of UP in this year. Okay, I can move it here. It says, okay, this much is it. So I can even select it. I can go and okay, what is this exactly? Okay, because so many states are there. I don't know which state is what.
Sir, can we only view this inside of R, or can we like export it in a manner that others can also see?
Yeah, you can export it actually. You can. It's basically an HTML widget.
Okay.
You can put it in your website. You can. All that is possible. Maybe later on we'll be working with R Markdown. That's what I was thinking. Once we work with R Markdown, all these plots, the static, interactive, 3D, everything, now maps, everything, you can actually put it in a single document, and you can send it as a HTML, or you can put it on your website. Or we'll talk about those as well. But one other thing, this ggplotly's power, if you see, we were working with some Subarna, your data, na? We're working with your data, right? For example, Subarna, we made this plot, right? Sorry, let me run this. So I'll call this plot 2 for now. Okay, P2. Sorry, not 2, P2. Okay, so what is P2? P2 is this. So I can very easily again call a ggplotly to this. So as of right now, we only have one variable that we are calling in the health insurance, isn't it? So it is when you hover over any state, it's going to tell us what is the status of that. But right now it looks very easy, but this is actually a interactive graph. You can zoom in. You can have multiple variables pointed out. For example, this low insurance state, you can once you hover over this state, you can actually have, okay, how many households are there? All that data can also be displayed, and you can have pop-up histograms and pop-up graphs as well. All that is also possible. I'd like you to. I'll stop here today by giving you this Plotly for our resource. So all these are there for you, and all these are interactive, completely interactive in nature. For example, if you want, you can look at maybe this next axis plots are. But So this is the R code for you, and all of this is, you can, it's actually the globe, and it's Australia for you, or New Zealand, Australia. And these are all, it is just this line of code that you use. This is the Walmart data. This much line of code to plot the whole thing, and 3 plots you can actually put it as a widget. Apart from this, there's a n number of things. If you want to, you can very clearly make a scatter plot. See, the syntax is almost the same. We say what is the data, what is x-axis, what is y-axis, and we can very easily create a plot. The ggplot syntax is, we'll say ggplot, data is so and so, aesthetics x is so, aesthetics y is so, isn't it? But one other thing I showed you was your existing ggplot also, you can make it interactive by just this one function called ggplotly. Okay, so I would prefer that you use ggplot, because you won't be working with a lot of interactive graphs in this level of your learning. Okay? But in the future, you may or may not. But essentially, you have to build your skills over ggplot only. Okay? ggplot is standing for grammar of graphics. That will help you not only become a better data visualization expert, but also it will help you understand the data better, and it will make you grow as a person as well. Okay, I'll stop here. I think we've taken too much time today. Daughter has been calling me, I guess. Anyway, we'll meet on Tuesday. Okay, for the next class, okay, anybody, Shruti, I know that we have not taken up your issues. Okay. Do you want us to take it up in the next class?
Yes, sir. She did not get the plot property.
Okay. Or maybe we can have a one-on-one thing if that is the case. But if everybody is okay, then we can work with Shruti's data next class.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Sure.
Yep.
I also want to introduce you to R Markdown. Maybe in the end of next class, I'll introduce you to the R Markdown. Maybe then the next Wednesday session, we can take it. Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm traveling. Can we postpone this week's sessions? Is that okay?
Yes, sir. When?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. We'll cancel. I mean, we'll put it to the next week, because I'm traveling and I don't know about the situation of internet and things.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. This Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll park it. We'll do it the next week. I hope
Yes, sir.
I've not disappointed you guys.
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. If you have any issues, you can always message me. That and all is always there. Okay. Okay then. Thank you. Yeah. See you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.